How do you go from small town Oklahoma City to have your own line of cookware? Well, we're trying out some recipes from Ree Drummond, the pioneer woman. Okay, so the salsa was easy. We took two 10-ounce cans of green chili rotel, one 28-ounce can of whole tomatoes with juice, a half a cup of fresh cilantro, a quarter cup of chopped onion, one clove of minced garlic, one whole jalapeno, 1/4 teaspoon of ground cumin, a quarter teaspoon of salt, a quarter teaspoon of sugar, and half of a lime juiced. We put it in a blender and let it pulse for about 20 to 30 seconds until everything was mixed well. And a reminder is that we will have this recipe with a link in the description box below. Along the theme of some Mexican food, and the first one is her salsa. I will warn you, it does have a little bit of a kick to it, but I promise I made it exactly as it said on them.
But it also looks a little oily.
The funny thing is I don't think she had any kind of oil-based anything herself. It's all like natural, everything coming out.
It smells okay.
What's all in it?
Tomato paste.
There's whole diced tomatoes, there's onions, some different spices. I know for sure cumin, cayenne, turmeric. You got some lime in there, a little bit of cilantro. I know I'm missing some stuff, but it's along the lines of just veggie stuff. One thing I noticed in her recipe was she actually used sugar in this. She used sugar in the salsa, and I never put sugar in salsa before.
Was it brown sugar or
Just white sugar.
Opinion?
I like the flavor, but the texture, it's like over pureed. I don't like that it's just like, I don't know, the tomato, you can taste like the whole like tomatoes instead of like salsa. It's just too like pureed. I make salsa in a blender too, but just not as like mushy. It's too mushy. That's it. Otherwise, I like the flavor. It's pretty good.
1 out of 5 stars.
4.
I like the flavor. I give it like a 3 stars.
1
Okay, Maple.
and a half.
I have to agree with the other panelists that it feels over-processed. It's a little liquidy. Not liquidy, but it's got a lot of water content on the top. And it's not very colorful. It's one color. It's all just red. And I kind of like the looks of the chunks of the vegetables in it. But it seems to be missing some spices in it. But
Start out by heating up 2 tablespoons of canola oil on the bottom of your pan. Then add in 3 cloves of minced garlic. Also put in a half to a whole onion chopped. Add in 4 cups of long grain rice. Go ahead and stir it and let it sit for a little bit, but make sure not to let the rice get burnt. Then you're going to put in 2 14.5-ounce cans of whole tomatoes. We just use a 28-ounce can. Also put in 1 10-ounce can of green chilies rotel, 1 teaspoon of cumin, 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, a half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, and a quarter teaspoon of turmeric. Let it sit and stir it every now and then. Add in 6 to 8 cups of low sodium chicken broth. Go ahead and cover and let it sit and cook until the rice is almost done but not quite. We transferred it over to a 9x13 pan, so make sure to grease the bottom of that pan before you put the rice in. Go ahead and coat the rice with your 1.5 cups of cheddar cheese. Put it in the oven at 375 degrees until the cheese is melted.
This is pretty good. I thought it was pretty good. Again, I think it was the, you know how the cheese is not melting, all that on the top. I don't know if it's the same one, but overall it's a good flavor and it's a good texture. It's something I think this is a dish that I think someone that's learning how to cook can do and still be proud of.
That's great.
Good flavor.
1 out of 5.
Probably a 4.
A 4. Awesome.
I liked it. I feel like the cheese could be like melted a little bit more.
Maybe it's a 4.
I love rice. I've ate it all my life. When I go over to my dad's house, uncle's house, all those, I love rice. Basically, I give 5 stars to the whole rice. The rice is awesome, and especially since it's cheesy.
I am with the other panelists about the cheese. It'd be really good if it was more melted. The flavor's pretty good. I think it's just a tad bit bland, but I would give it a 4 also.
For the tres leches cake, you're going to take 1 cup of all-purpose flour, 1½ teaspoon of baking powder, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt and sift them together. Then you're going to beat 5 large egg yolks plus 3/4 cup of sugar until it's a light yellow color. Go ahead and stir together the 1/3 cup of milk and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Mix that in with your flour mixture. Beat the 5 large egg whites along with 1/4 cup of sugar. Once soft peaks have formed, fold it into your flour mixture. Make sure to stir until there's no lumps and then put into a greased baking pan. Put it in the oven at 350 degrees for 35 to 40 minutes or until it's done. For the tres leches mixture, you're going to take 1/4 cup of heavy cream, 1 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk, and 1 12-ounce can of evaporated milk. Just mix them all together until it's mixed very nice and well. Poke holes in the cake and then put the tres leches mixture over it to make sure it can be soaked up fully. I left mine in the fridge overnight because I couldn't get the consistency that I wanted. For the icing, you're going to take 1 pint of heavy cream and 3 tablespoons of sugar. Go ahead and mix them together and then just leave the mixer going until it has peaks formed. It's going to take a little while, but it tastes so good. The next day I put the icing on top and then put the maraschino cherries on top of that just for decoration. Can't stop it!
It's good. But I've never tasted a tres leches cake with this texture.
I think it's a little dense.
Yeah, the bread it's which to me I really like it because I'm not a big fan of tres leches cake. I think it's a little mushy. So I know that the texture is different because I kind of like it that it's not.
The top layer, it's I hate to say this, but it's better than the second layer. I don't know what it is, but it tastes much better than
I think, yeah, I can see this top one is super thin, and then the
Yeah.
bottom one is not so, it's thicker, but not, yeah. I think you did a great effort. I think the recipe probably wasn't so great for
I don't like whipped cream at all, but this is tasty. This is cake. This is revolutionary.
Revolutionary. Yeah.
I think I give this one a 3. Is the cake homemade?
It is.
Okay, I will give it a 3.
I like milk and I like leche. Also, the bread is kind of hard for my teeth. So I give it a 4.
Okay.
4.5.
I give it a 4.
A 4.
Taste wise, I give it a 4, but texture, I give it a 3.
I would attempt to see if I could do it. But if this is what I would make it a couple of times. If it came out like this every time, no, I wouldn't after that. But I would attempt it because I enjoy it. But
Do you think it's worth the money and effort that's been put into it?
if it's gonna turn out like this, no.
Well, she said that she had to like work on it for 2 days almost, or like
It was
overnight.
basically an overnight thing, yeah.
Absolutely not.
No.
There's many other desserts you can make that taste much better and take less effort, and yeah.
Okay.
And it's too funny because I'm okay with it taking that long, only because it's like, ooh, I want to see what happens with it kind of thing. But you have to look at what's going on. It's just me and my husband and nearly 19-year-old daughter.
Yeah, that's right.
So, but
I have 4
and
kids.
she has 4 kids, so I'm like, if it takes 2 days, it's okay. But sometimes when you have smaller kids or a bigger family, you may not have the 2 days to do this.
Yeah. Usually when I make desserts, it's for a family get-together, and so I need something that's gonna feed a lot of people, and I need to make it quickly. So I would prefer to make, and also something delicious. So of course, if everybody's gonna enjoy. But I think this takes too long, and it's there's other desserts that probably